South Korea and the Philippines are celebrating 75 years of diplomatic relations that were forged back in 1949 when the Philippines became the fifth nation to formally recognize the Republic of Korea. Since then, ties between the two countries have expanded to include trade, cultural exchanges, and broad commitment to regional peace and stability. On Issues and Insiders today, we learn more about their bilateral relations from a former diplomat to the region. Hello and welcome. You're watching Issues and Insiders for this Friday afternoon, July 26th here in South Korea. I'm Min Sunhee. A former South Korean ambassador to the Philippines was awarded the Order of Sikatuna for his diplomatic dedication to promoting ties between the two nations. That being said, today I have the pleasure of his company here in the studio for his thoughts on South Korea's relationship with its regional partner, the Philippines. Ambassador Han Dong-man, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
Right. Ambassador, as I mentioned in the short clip, South Korea and the Philippines are celebrating 75 years of diplomatic relations this year. Let's begin then with a few words from you with regard to the significance of this event.
The Philippines is the first among ASEAN countries and the fifth in the world to establish diplomatic ties with Korea. In the long and the precious friendship, Korea and the Philippines have witnessed a significant progress in the socio-political stage, or in trade and investment, or in also development cooperation, and also in cultural and people-to-people exchange. Well, the relationship between Korea and the Philippines can be classified as strong, as the two countries have historically been and continue to be close partner. Our long-standing ties were fortified by our common commitment to democracy, respect for human rights, and also a rules-based international order. So over the last 7 decades, our two countries have shared their dynamic partnership and would continue to strengthen the existing relationship and also build new platforms for cooperation in a future-oriented manner. So there are many areas where the two countries can create synergies. So I think now is the time to upgrade our relationship to a strategic partnership to open new chapter or new avenues for growth in many different sectors.
Right, for sure. And speaking about our common commitment to democracy, I believe Filipino soldiers were dispatched to the Korean Peninsula to help defend South Korea from war here, of course. What more can you tell us about the two countries' quest for freedom and democracy?
When the Korean War broke out in 1950, then the president of the UN General Assembly, Carlos Romulo, a Filipino diplomat, held a general meeting and passed the UN military participation bill in spite of then the opposition of the Soviet Union. And then the Philippines decided to dispatch 7,420 soldiers to defend the freedom of South Korea. I believe the Korean War veterans deserve the title of a hero. So there is no doubt today's Korea would not be enjoying peace, democracy, and economic prosperity without their noble and great sacrifices. So to honor their sacrifices, I paid a tribute to the Korean War Memorial in Manila on the first day of my arrival as a Korean ambassador. Also, I met the former President Fidel Ramos, who joined the Korean War as a platoon leader after graduating from the West Point in the United States. So as a very proud Filipino-Korean War veteran, he wished for peace, stability, and peaceful unification. So I think most Filipinos agree with him. Their sacrifices will continue to be cherished in the minds of Korean people. And our future generation should not forget their sacrifices that their ancestors had to make in the name of freedom, democracy.
Right, to make sure that we enjoy the peace and prosperity of the present. Ambassador Han, what do you believe then are some of the perhaps common security challenges facing South Korea and the Philippines at present?
We are facing unstable geopolitical landscape, especially due to the tension on the Korean Peninsula, triggered by North Korea's arsenal and continued medium and long-range missiles, as well as maritime dispute surrounding South China Sea. But in the Philippines, they call it the West Philippine Sea. In addition to this traditional security concern, we are facing the evolving non-traditional security threat, such as climate change, marine pollution, and environmental degradation, terrorism, cyber attack, which undermine the human security. So, and also requires the common stance, and because these security concerns are transboundary issues. So as we continue on the path towards lasting peace and stability in the region, we remain steadfast partner of the Philippines in addressing these non-traditional security issues.
Right, and staying with that, Ambassador Han, how can South Korea and the Philippines perhaps work better together to promote stability and address these broader regional concerns that you've mentioned as well?
So according to recent surveys, on the leading security challenges in Southeast Asia, about 65% of the respondents in the Philippines stated that they are mainly concerned about the increased military tensions and escalation in the Korean Peninsula and also in the West Philippine Sea. But the West Philippine Sea or South China Sea is very important sea lane for us, so that we support the freedom of navigation and hope the parties involved would resolve their dispute in the peaceful manner through dialogue. Where the Philippines and Korea are evolving defense ties in the midst of the growing security concerns and bolstering the already strong relationship and signaling the importance of joint efforts to safeguard regional stability and peace. So the moves comes from our common stance because the Philippines and Korea remains a close ally of the United States. Korea remains a key also partner of the Philippines in the military modernization programs, supplying a variety of essential military equipment such as F-50 light fighter plane or missile frigate and corvette. So the growing defense partnership also extends to joint military exercises, including, of course, the United States.
Right. And beyond our interest, bilateral interest that is in security matters here in the region, Ambassador Han, another area of bilateral interest, of course, like you mentioned at the start, is trade. Now, the two countries signed their free trade agreement last September. What does South Korea look to gain from this agreement, and vice versa? What does the Philippines look to secure from this trade pact?
Basically, we recognize the potentials of both countries to advance economic relations by enhancing trade and investment flow through the elimination or removal of tariffs to closer trade and the creation of business and also investment opportunities. Well, in negotiating the free trade agreement, the Philippines' objective include securing improved market access for the agricultural products, in particular bananas, such as bananas or some tropical fruits. For example, in the last decade, the market share of Philippines banana in Korea has been declining from 95% in 2014 to 72% last year. So the Philippines banana exporters are expected to recover the market share in Korea, as under free trade agreement, the tariff on bananas will be removed from currently 30% to 0% level within 5 years. So under the free trade agreement, also 5% of tariff on Korean cars will be removed once the FTA takes effect. And also the another tariff on Korean cars or hybrid vehicles or electric vehicles also will be removed within 5 years. Accordingly, Korean cars will be more competitive in the Philippine market. Well, there's no doubt that FTA signifies a commitment to fostering a strong and mutually beneficial partnership in the years to come. And in particular, the free trade agreement between Korea and the Philippines marks the historic, important vehicles because we can expand more trade and investment through the conclusion of a free trade agreement. In the context, I'd hope our National Assembly ratify this important trade deal as soon as possible.
Right. Ambassador Han, you've been highly commended by the Philippines for your dedication to promoting bilateral ties. As I mentioned at the start of our talk, you were conferred the Order of the Sikatuna by former Filipino President Rodrigo Duterte, who highly applauded your efforts to promote bilateral ties. That being said, could you tell us a bit about the work at the Korean Embassy in the Philippines during your tenure?
It was my great honor and privilege to serving as a Korean ambassador to the Philippines. And also I was truly honored as the Philippine House of Representatives and the Senate unanimously adopted the resolution praising my achievement to deepen our ties between Korea and the Philippines. Well, I think the major achievement that we made were attributable to the teamwork of the Korean embassy staffs to enhance our ties in many different sectors. For example, now we made an utmost effort to bring more Korean investment and more Korean tourists. So in terms of the number of tourists, Korea ranked number 1 among foreign tourist arrivals. And also we established a Philippine-Korea society designed to make it to play a certain role to stimulate or coordinate Korea-related projects in the Philippines. In 2019, we celebrated the 70th anniversary of our diplomatic ties. So we organized many events such as K-pop or K-film festivals or cultural exchange festivals or marching together events, which helped to solidify our friendship and partnership.
And speaking about K-pop, K-dramas and K-movies, Ambassador Han, broadly speaking, some claim that the Korean wave has been the best ambassador for South Korea overseas. What are your thoughts?
Well, Hallyu, the Korean wave arrived in the Philippines through the Korean dramas in the early 2000s. I would say the Filipinos undoubtedly love anything Korean, be it K-pop, K-food, K-cosmetics, K-film, or K-dramas. But they call it Korean telenovelas. The Korean dramas such as Crash Landing on You or Itaewon Class were so popular. So when I met then foreign minister of the Philippines, Loksin, he told me, Mr. Ambassador, I watched these 2 Korean dramas with my wife during the pandemic.
Crash Landing on You and Itaewon Class?
Yeah, that's right. Well, also given the great popularity of Korean actors or actresses, Philippine telecommunication company, Smart Telecommunications, released a commerce advertisement with Hyunbin and Sonejin. Well, the contributing factors that make K-dramas a hit in the Philippines are the production elements of the shows, including the unique plots, the storylines, and also very attractive cast. So I think also Korean dramas describe value and respect for the elders and the family, friendship. According to the CNN Philippine report, the Filipinos were named the second biggest audience listening to K-pop, of course, including BTS, Blackpink, and Momoland, and fourth among countries tweeting the most about K content. So other subfields of the Korean cultural diplomacy include the gastro diplomacy. So I would say Filipinos fell in love with Korean food, in particular samgyeopsal, a grilled pork belly, which becomes the most popular in the Philippines. To have a better understanding about K-pop or K-dramas, the large number of Filipinos who want to learn Korean language is increasing day after day. So if I'm not mistaken, about 1,000 of Filipinos every year are learning Korean language in the 25 high schools and several King Sejong Language Institute. So Korean Cultural Center in Manila also has played a certain role in galvanizing or stimulating K-culture in the Philippines. So I think the Korean cultural phenomenon is expected to flourish in the years to come.
And keeping that in mind then, Ambassador Han, do you suppose South Korea could do more to leverage its soft power and smart technology to perhaps enhance its engagements with countries here in Asia?
Over the past few decades, the Korean culture has gained popularity worldwide, thanks to the development of digital technology, especially the change in the social media environment. The digital soft power becomes the primary vehicle in enhancing cultural diplomacy related to Korean wave. For example, various K-pop idol groups have utilized, digital media such as YouTube and also digital platform like Netflix, which play a crucial role in enhancing Korea's soft power. So as Korean wave has become very popular worldwide, a good image, positive image of Korea has been formed. And many Korean companies have utilized that to profit their products. So, but to secure the sustainability of the Korean wave in the long run, I think the paradigm should be changed or shifted from the unilateral entry to bilateral or mutual exchanges. This means the Korean government and the Korean companies should shift the paradigm from commercialism and very aggressive, strategies to the mutual cultural events, and also respect the culture of the higher consumer countries. Well, Korean wave in Southeast Asia is not only a cultural phenomenon, but also a technological phenomenon. So having this in mind, I think the Korean government and the companies should continue to support for digital platform in Southeast Asia, and also expand the various cooperation projects related to social media and entertainment industry.
And staying with your proposals, Ambassador Han, what do you propose for South Korea to further enhance its ties with the Philippines going forward then? I also understand you have a message you'd like to share with the people over in the Philippines.
Okay, in the era of rapid changes, Korea and the Philippines are on the same boat, navigating a long journey for co-prosperity and also stability and peace in the region. So looking to the future, I'm very optimistic about the growth of cooperation in many different sectors. So I believe when we, Korea and the Philippines, work together, the journey toward the co-prosperity and peace will be much pleasant. We have a common understanding, maintaining and strengthening partnership and the friendship will further contribute to regional peace and stability, which in turn will lead to co-prosperity. So for the long journey, in next 75 years and beyond, so Korea will remain as a good and reliable partner of the Philippines based upon our solid friendship and partnership. So if time allows, let me say a few words in Tagalog to my Filipino friends and the Filipino audience. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Handongman. Kinagalak ko kayo makasama ngayon. Mahal na mahal ko kayo Filipinos. So sabay-sabay nating takin para sa ating pagkakaibigan at samahan. Maraming salamat po.
Given your hand gesture, I'm assuming you said you love the Filipinos.
Yeah, that's right.
You miss them.
Yeah.
I see. All right, Ambassador Han Dong-man, former South Korean ambassador to the Philippines, thank you so much for your time and your thoughts.
It's my pleasure. Yeah, thank you.
Right, well, that ends this week's editions of Issues and Insiders. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend.